Hi, this is Ken Peters from MysteryDecoders.com. And today we have a different kind of decoding. The conspiracy theory on the possible murder, our cover-up of rock icon Kurt Cobain. Now, we don't have an in-house detective, nor any insider information. But we will give you a quick summary of this case, and using common sense and a logical approach, present our analysis. In case you don't know, Kurt was the lead singer and songwriter for the band Nirvana, which was labeled as the flagship band of Generation X. Kurt Cobain was the spokesman of a generation, and his death led to 68 copycat teenager suicides. Sadly, the spokesperson for the lost Generation X lost his life at the young age of 27 at the peak of his career. I was not a big fan of Kurt's music, but after watching a newly released Netflix movie entitled Soaked in Bleach, I decided to do some research. Using my usual tools of web searching and Wikipedia, I found a lot of information I would like to share with you. This documentary movie first raised doubts if the police detectives were involved in a cover-up. The film pointed to his possible involvement in a cover-up accusation of another case, and Kurt's refusal to share the information about that case. However, to be fair, Kurt Cobain's death was quickly ruled as suicide by both the media and the police. And no one had much doubt because, number one, there was a suicide note. Number two, there was a prior suicide attempt. Number three, Kurt's songs were famous for dark themes. And number four, his body was in a locked room. But the film poked holes in this evidence. Number one, the suicide note may be a partial forgery. And this is supported by a copy of the note and an audio recording from Rosemary Carroll, Kurt and Courtney's lawyer, stating it doesn't look right. Number two, the so-called prior suicide attempt was not really a suicide attempt, but rather an accident or a possible failed murder plot. Number three, in two interviews, Kurt was happy with a positive outlook. Four, his body was in a room with a twisted lock. The kind you lock on your way out. And the other interesting point the film brought up was that, number one, the police report showed 1.52 milligrams per liter of a heroin blood level for Kurt. That is 70 times more than most people can take, and 3 times the lethal dose for even the most severe heroin addict. That means Kurt is incapacitated and really would have no way to shoot himself. And the shell casing was found on the left side. Based on the position of the gun and body, the shell casing should be on his right side. Unless he shot himself in this seemingly impossible position, or the shell jumped like this after it was fired. And the movie pointed out other suspicious facts about Kurt's last overdose. Courtney called police pretending to be Kurt's mom when she filed the missing person report. And Kurt's problem with Courtney, and most shocking, was Rosemary's audio recording about her finding a practice type of paper showing someone tried to copy Kurt's writing. You may say, why do you want to tell me this when I can watch the film myself? Well, actually, I hope my brief introduction can lead you to more mystery hunting. It's more fun than you think. And if you're bored with this story, it's better to watch my 5-minute presentation than 2 hours of the movie, right? Now, my theory is I don't think the police tried to cover up anything. But they obviously jumped to conclusions a little too fast. But with Kurt having a prior suicide attempt and a suicide note given to them by Kurt's widow, it's like they have a murder confession from a convicted killer, so why look anywhere else? Even though now there are serious doubts about the suicide note, and on the prior attempt, they did not have any information back then. Also, with Courtney siding with the suicide theory, why would any police doubt it? Courtney will lose any insurance payoff if Kurt died from suicide. A small girl like Courtney, why would she say it is a suicide if it's not? That prompted me to check Wikipedia about Courtney. Do you know Courtney started psychotherapy at age 2 and was diagnosed with mild autism at age 9? She was sent to boarding school at age 8 and then expelled a few years later. She shoplifted at 14 and was sent to a correction facility. She then spent several years in foster care till she was 16. She supported herself by working illegally as an underage stripper. And during this time, she also picked berries at an Oregon farm. A sad but familiar story of many runaway girls, right? But did you know her mother was a psychologist and her father was a publisher and road manager for the Grateful Dead? Her grandmother is the famous novelist Paula Fox. So, can you imagine professional, well-off parents leaving their mentally ill daughter to foster care? And leaving her to feed herself as an underage stripper and berry picker? What kind of parents are they? We know Courtney struggled in school, but she taught herself music, instruments, songwriting, and is an excellent actress. She also debuted as a painter in 2012. I think she is a genius in many ways. I don't think anyone will know what happened in April 1994 with Kurt. He was quickly cremated, and now all evidence is gone. Did Kurt die of suicide or something else? I think it is a mystery that we can never decode. Thanks for watching our most recent video here at mysterydecoders.com. And here's hoping you're able to decode the most important mysteries in your life.